Hi there, and welcome back to Grammar with Kelsey. Today, we're taking a look at modals of certainty. So, we've already talked about modals when we talked about giving and asking for advice, but just in case you don't remember, modals are our handy little auxiliary verbs. They get added on to our actions, and they can do many, many things: ability, possibility, advice. Today, we're talking about certainty, right? How sure are we that something happened? So, modals of certainty. Did it? Did it not? How sure are we? Okay. So, 4 degrees of certainty. Our first set we have is can't, must, and has to. These are 90 to 100%, right? And they say definitely, right? Okay. The next set is could, couldn't. These are more like 60 to 75%, probably. The last one is might, may. This is more like 25%, maybe, possibly. Okay. So let's take a look with some examples. So almost 100% sure it is not true. These are going to be our negatives, our nots. Can't, 100% sure. The dog can't get out. The door is locked. I am very sure. Must not, 100% sure. He must not have cleaned his room. Right? I am looking at it now. It is still a mess. Must not. Couldn't, 75 to 80% sure. It couldn't be him. I just saw him at home. He can't physically be in 2 places at once. It's impossible. Right? 75 to 80% sure. Okay. Not sure if it is true, but it's possible. May not. I may be home late. Maybe I won't be. Depends on the traffic. Okay. Might not. He missed the train, so he might be on time. He might not be on time. Maybe there's another train or another bus right after. Who knows? And then could. That could be a tuna sandwich. I can't tell. Sniff it. Tuna's really smelly, right? Okay. And then the last set, almost 100% sure it is true. So here we have the 100% sure it's not true with our negatives. Here are positives. Words like must, you have it over here and over here. She must be over 90 years old. She talks about World War I like she was there. Has to. It has to be him. It looks exactly like him. See, here's this picture. There's his face. They are the same, right? Tone is really important when we do these, right? She must be over 90 years old. Our tone goes from top to low or stays the same, must be. Whereas these are going to move up when we say them. I might be home late, right? It could be a tuna sandwich, right? So our tone has a lot to do with how we understand these modals, right? Okay. Something else to note is that words like can and can't and could and couldn't have added layers of ability and possibility. So if we look over here at can't, the dog can't get out. The door is locked. He is physically unable. He doesn't have thumbs. He can't unlock the door. Not able to, right? So these words have that extra layer where they tell us ability and possibility. Okay, so what is the actual grammatical structure when we have these in sentences? Let's take a look. So statements. We have our modal plus our base verb. This is the same as our advice, right? Modal comes first, base verb comes after. If you are using not, it gets attached to the modal. So things like it can't, the dog can't get out. Here's our modal. There's our base verb. Our not gets attached to the modal. It might not. He might miss the train if he doesn't run, right? So might, modal, base verb. Must not. They must make a reservation or they won't get a table. So here's our modal, here's our base verb. Okay. So how do we use this with questions? Again, just like our advice, our modal moves to the front of the sentence, then our subject, then our base verb. Might he, mightn't he? Mightn't he miss the train if he doesn't run? Must he not, mustn't he? Must they make a reservation to get a table? Do they have to? Okay. Now, you can do questions in another way. If you have a statement that you're pretty sure is true, right? You're pretty sure it is correct. You can do something like this. You can go back to our statement form modal first, and then our base verb. And you can add this word right at the end. This turns it into a question. It must not, ... right? And there's that comma. Make sure you have that. Okay. They must make a reservation, right? I'm pretty sure they have to. I'm pretty sure this is true. I'm just looking for confirmation. When we say this right, it's not right. Our tone goes up. So they must make a reservation, right? Our tone says that this is a question. It can't, ... right? The dog can't get out, right? Okay. Pretty sure he can't. Just looking for confirmation. It could not, couldn't, right? He couldn't miss the train, right? He was so early. There's no way. I'm pretty sure this is true. I'm just looking for confirmation. All right, so that's one other way to do our questions. Okay, so that's it for now. I hope everything went well. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Otherwise, have a good day. Bye.